The sound of rain was my only company that night. Well, that and whatever mindless show I had playing on TV. You know those nights, when you're wrapped in your favorite blanket, trying to lose yourself in some streaming marathon while thunder rolls outside. That's when I first heard it. Scratch, scratch. At first I thought it was just my imagination, or maybe a branch against the window. But there it was again. Scratch, scratch. Somewhere down the dark hallway of my house. I paused the TV and the sudden silence felt heavy. What was that? I whispered to myself, immediately feeling silly for talking out loud. But sometimes speaking makes you feel less alone, you know? The scratching continued, pulling me from my warm cocoon on the couch. I grabbed my flashlight, the one I keep nearby for power outages, and started my reluctant journey down the hallway. Each step felt like I was in one of those horror movies where everyone yells, "Don't go in there!" at the screen. The guest bedroom door was slightly ajar, and I could have sworn I'd left it closed. As I pushed it open, the hinges creaked, because of course they did, right? The room was empty, thankfully. Just shadows dancing on the walls from the lightning outside. I let out a relieved breath and turned to head back to my safe spot on the couch. That's when I saw it. A dog just sitting there, completely still, soaking wet from the rain, water pooling beneath its feet on my hardwood floor. But it wasn't the dog that made my blood run cold. It was the collar tag gleaming in my flashlight beam. Return to me, you'll know when. I didn't own a dog I never had, and as I stood there, frozen, staring at this mysterious visitor, I couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning of something much bigger than a stray seeking shelter from the storm. Have you ever had that feeling when something unexpected feels strangely right? Like a puzzle piece clicking into place even though you never knew there was a space to fill? That's how it felt when he showed up. This dog, this mysterious visitor who appeared on my doorstep one rainy evening. I didn't invite him in. He just walked in like he knew exactly where he was going. I remember standing in my kitchen that night, watching him eat from a bowl of leftover chicken I'd placed on the floor. There was something oddly proper about the way he ate. No mess, no fuss. Just those eyes. Those strange, glowing eyes that seemed to hold secrets I couldn't quite grasp. You know, I tried to do the right thing. I really did. Spent hours checking online for missing dog reports, asked every neighbor within a 3-block radius. Posted flyers, made calls, but nothing. Not a single person was looking for him. And the weird thing was, with each passing day, this uninvited guest felt less like a stray and more like, well, like he'd always been meant to be here. Like he was waiting for this moment. That night changed everything. I had one of those dreams. You know, the kind that feels more like a memory than a dream? Where everything is crystal clear and you can feel every sensation. In it, the dog was there, standing by my attic door. Not just standing, he was barking, urgent, insistent. His eyes weren't just glowing anymore, they were practically burning with purpose. Like he needed to show me something. Something that couldn't wait, and then I woke up 3:03 a.m. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it echoing in my ears. But that wasn't what made my blood run cold. It was the sound, that long, slow cree-yak from across the room. The attic door, it was open. And somehow, I knew this was just the beginning of a story that had been waiting years to be told. In the darkness, I could see his silhouette, those eyes still glowing, still watching. He wasn't just a stray who had wandered into my life. He was a messenger, a guardian perhaps, and he had chosen me for a reason. A reason I was about to discover, whether I was ready for it or not.
Enjoying the video, correct? Make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. Please leave your feedback, hit like, share the content.
Every house has its secrets, but what I discovered in my attic that night changed everything I thought I knew about my life, my family, and reality itself. It started with my dog's strange behavior. For days, he'd been scratching at the ceiling, whining at the attic door. I'd ignored it at first, we all do, right? Just another quirk of pet ownership. But that night, something felt different. His persistence was unsettling. So there I was, flashlight in hand, climbing those creaky stairs into the darkness above. The beam of light cut through decades of dust, dancing off suspended particles that floated like tiny stars in the musty air. My dog followed, his nails clicking against the wooden steps, more excited than I'd seen him in weeks. The attic was exactly what you'd expect. Cobwebs stretching between forgotten furniture, boxes of memories pushed into corners. the kind of place that holds onto time like a museum of personal history. But my dog, he knew exactly where he was going. Straight to a box in the far corner, pawing at it like it contained his favorite treat. "What are you trying to show me, buddy?" I whispered, my voice sounding strange in the thick silence. The box wasn't particularly remarkable, just another cardboard container yellowed with age. But as I opened it, my heart started racing. Family photos, dozens of them, spilling out like autumn leaves, and beneath them, an album I'd never seen before. The pages were sticky with age, but I couldn't stop turning them. Then it happened. A single photograph slipped out, floating to the floor like a feather. When I picked it up, my world stopped making sense. It was me, unmistakably me, at around 5 years old. But that wasn't what made my blood run cold. There in the photo, I was holding a dog. Not just any dog, my dog. The same distinct markings, the same unique eyes, the same everything. The dog that was currently sitting beside me, very much alive and breathing. The date stamped on the back, 1998. 25 years ago. How is this possible? I heard myself say, my voice trembling. Dogs live 10, maybe 15 years at most. But this was impossible. Yet there it was, concrete evidence in my shaking hands, forcing me to question everything I thought I knew about my faithful companion, and perhaps about the nature of reality itself. I never thought a simple peek into my basement would unravel a mystery that had been haunting our family home for years. The strange noises, the inexplicable warmth, the feeling of being watched, it all started making sense, but not in a way I could have ever imagined. This morning, my hands trembling, I picked up the phone to call my mom. The questions had been burning inside me since last night when I saw those familiar golden eyes gleaming in the darkness. I needed answers. "Mom," my voice cracked slightly. "I need to ask you something about when I was little, about a dog named Marley." The silence on the other end was deafening. I could hear her breath catch, and when she finally spoke, her voice was barely above a whisper, heavy with emotions I couldn't quite understand. How do you know that name?" she asked, her voice trembling. Marley wasn't just a pet, he was my guardian angel. One night, when I was just 4 years old, someone broke into our house. I was sleeping soundly in my bed, unaware of the danger lurking in the shadows. But Marley knew. He sensed the intruder before anyone else did. Mom's voice grew more emotional as she continued. "He fought so fiercely to protect you, honey. The intruder had a knife." She paused, collecting herself. "Marley saved your life that night, but he got hurt, really badly." My heart was pounding as the memories started flooding back. Fragments of a golden retriever's warm fur, the sound of his playful barks, the feeling of complete safety when he was around. "But Mom," I whispered, tears streaming down my face. "He's here. I've been seeing him, feeling his presence. He's still in the house right now."
There was a long pause before my mother spoke again, her voice a mix of awe and understanding.
"That can't be, unless..." She stopped herself, then continued softly, "Unless he never really left." It all made sense now. The warm presence I'd feel when I was sad, the gentle nudges when I was heading down the wrong path, the mysterious disappearance of things that could harm me. Marley had never abandoned his post as my protector. Even after all these years, even after crossing the Rainbow Bridge, he was still here, watching over me, protecting me. Some bonds, it seems, are stronger than death itself. And in our family home, love had found a way to transcend the boundaries between this world and the next. Marley wasn't just a memory. He was, and always would be, my eternal guardian angel.
Enjoying the video, correct? Make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. Please leave your feedback, hit like, share the content.
They say time heals all wounds, but some memories, they stay with us forever. Looking back now, I can still see those precious moments so clearly. Walking with Marley in the park, his excited bounces and that goofy grin as he chased after squirrels. The quiet evenings we spent together, him sprawled across the couch while I watched TV, his head resting on my lap. Every night, he'd curl up beside my bed, this faithful guardian who somehow knew exactly when I needed him most. I didn't realize it then, but with each passing day, each shared moment, something was changing. My smile was returning piece by piece, like a puzzle slowly coming together. Marley wasn't just helping me heal, he was teaching me how to live again. That morning started like any other. I opened my eyes, expecting to hear his familiar morning bark, his paws padding across the floor. My heart stopped when I saw it, a note on my bed written in handwriting I'd never seen before. "Thank you for remembering me," it read. "I never left. I just waited until you were ready." Under my pillow, I found his collar, worn and familiar in my hands. And in that moment, everything made sense. Marley wasn't just a dog who wandered into my life when I was broken. He was more than that, so much more. He was a guardian angel in fur, sent to walk beside me through my darkest days. A physical reminder of love's persistence, of healing's possibility. Some might say it was just a dream, a figment of grief and loneliness. But I know better. I know that sometimes love takes forms we can't explain. Sometimes it comes with 4 paws and a wagging tail, staying just long enough to remind us that we're never truly alone. Marley taught me that the most powerful kind of love doesn't die, it transforms. It becomes the warmth in our memories, the strength in our hearts, and the smile that returns to our faces, even when we thought we'd forgotten how to smile at all. He wasn't just a dog. He was my guardian, my memory keeper, and a love that never truly died. And somewhere, I know he's still watching, tail wagging, waiting for the next soul who needs a little magic in their life.